And we're back on the Cubbie Corner. Max Toma alongside Brendan King. And let's get right into it. BK, you got to have a chat at the Cubs convention with Matt Mervis. I mean, one of the most breakout players in all of minor league baseball across any organization. We got to see him firsthand in April. Talk to me about that conversation with Merv.
Well, only fitting that we got to talk with Merv at Cubs convention after we received our Mash Mervis shirts from the great Evan Altman, which, of course, you, me, and Chris Hagstrom now all rock. Man, the Chicago Cubs 2022 Minor League Player of the Year, he earned it, Max. I mean, he had statistically the best power hitting season since Pete Alonso was coming up with the New York Mets. And we asked Merv about that. To have his name tied to a guy like that, you're in pretty good business. And a lot of people in Chicago right now, Max, are excited about Merv. We're happy for him because, again, we kind of saw the initial launch of what was Matt Mervis, and we're really happy for him. So this interview was definitely a lot of fun to do.
We were there for that rocket takeoff in April of 2022, and it simply never stopped. He just kept mashing when he was in South Bend, when he was in Tennessee, certainly when he was in Iowa, and then it just kept continued when he was in the Arizona Fall League. Such a thrilling guy to watch. Let's kick it to the interview. BK and Mash Mervis.
Cubs Convention 2023 rolls on. I'm Brendan King, joined by a very special guest, one of the stars of the Cubs farm system in 2022, our friend, Midwest League champion, Matt Mervis. Merv, great to see you at Cubs Convention. You're taking in your first one as a Cub. How's it been?
It's been a lot of fun. Fans are everywhere. They're passionate. They're excited. So I'm happy to be here.
So big shout out to our guy, Evan Altman, for the shirt, Mash Mervis, which has taken on a persona of its own, I think, through obvious shirts, obviously. Okay, so Mash Mervis, take us through when you first got the nickname. Was it a college thing, Little League? When you got to the Cubs, take us through it.
It happened at some point in June or July this year.
This year?
The first time I saw it was on Twitter. I'm not sure who tweeted it, and then I guess it was July or August maybe. Evan showed up to Indianapolis. He and his son were wearing those shirts that he.
You're playing at Victory Field?
Yep. Yeah. They custom made. He said his wife was printing them in like their kitchen or garage or something like that. So I DM'd him on Twitter, said, "Hey, like, can you make some of those for my family? Like, I want to buy a couple from you." And then Twitter did its thing. He got connected with Obvious Shirts, and here we are.
Merv, your 2022, something to remember, not only because of the statistics, we'll get to those momentarily, but stops in South Bend, stops in Tennessee, stops in Iowa. You put on a show as the year just went along, and I remember you were on that South Bend opening day roster. You had a 4 RBI game in Fort Wayne. Again, we'll get to the stats in a second, but when did you really feel comfortable at first to begin the season?
It was actually in Fort Wayne, and really it might have been that game. It was a left-on-left curveball that I hit. It was I pulled it for a double, and just after that swing, I was like, wow, I didn't feel that for all of 2021. Like, it just never felt right. I was constantly searching for mechanics, and then that swing kind of, I don't know what happened, but it was like a mental shock. Like, I'll do that again. Mm-hmm. And so I just tried to keep that feeling. I was able to work on it with Puente in the cage the next few days, and then really that was just my focus the whole year. Just try to keep feeling good. Don't get complicated with mechanics. Don't, over analyze things or whatever. Just, feel good before the game, and it helped a lot to simplify.
So between the 3 levels, I want to get it right. You play 137 games, 309, 36 bombs, 119 RBIs. By the way, 119 ribbies, most by a minor leaguer since Pete Alonso in 2018. That's not bad company to be along with. Absolutely. But man, I just think about your year. You always were so meticulous with your prep work. When did you first learn that mentality?
I've kind of always worked like that.
Yeah.
I'm a perfectionist. I expect every swing to lead to good contact, and if it doesn't, then what did I do wrong? Why didn't I square that ball up? Just trying to work to make sure that it goes back to that feel. Just make sure, do what I need to do to make sure I feel good. And so I'll take as many swings as I need to, or as few as I need to lock in my swing and make sure I'm ready to go.
Is that mentality of feeling and being obsessed with that just part of the reason why you're able to seemingly be so comfortable in high pressure situations?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it leads to confidence. If I know I feel good and I know that my swing is where I want it to be, then I have nothing else to think about. But just it's the same approach. Just hit.
I want you to tell this story about something you told me around the cages to begin the year. We're both Cape Cod League alums, broadcaster, player, obviously. You played with the Katuitt Kettleers. I broadcast with the Orleans Firebirds. Mike Roberts, the head coach of Katuitt, who actually was a Cubs roving coach for quite a while, legendary coach in college baseball at North Carolina. He had a big impact on you. Tell us why.
Huge. I got there. I came off a pretty good junior year, but my last, 4, 5, 6 weeks, my swing didn't feel right. Going back to feel, I wasn't hitting well. It was getting tied up on everything on the inner half of the plate. And as soon as I got there, we went to work. I mean, he said, your swing right now is not going to play. So you need to fix it, and I'm more than willing to help you. So he would set up we played 4 o'clock home games. He would set up the machine at 11 or noon, and we would just hit. And he's a very old school guy. He knows his mechanics, but he has his ways of explaining them. So, I bought in.
Yeah.
And at that time, Rizzo and Schwarber were with the Cubs, so he said, look at those guys. Their hands are in front of their shoulders, but it's not a big, long swing. They don't sacrifice power. So try it. And, if you look at my swing now, that's pretty much what my setup is. He talked about hips. He talked about keeping 2 hands on the bat, and it's all stuff I still think about now.
What's it been like for you, especially this weekend, to see just how excited and pumped people are to see your future? Because this has all happened. We just talked off the air in a matter of 8 months.
Right. It's crazy. I mean, the fans here are so passionate and so knowledgeable. I mean, I just signed autographs for an hour, and everyone came up to me and knew who I was, and they said they're excited for me to get to Chicago and play. So it's really exciting to play for a fan base that really knows and cares about it.
Merv, some fan questions coming in on Twitter, #AskSBCubs. We were talking about this off air. Going to ask you anyway, your favorite Taco Bell order?
I haven't had Taco Bell in so long that
DJ Harris would be very disappointed about that, apparently.
DJ's a big fan.
Okay, so if you had to stop for a quick meal, where are you going?
I'll go to Chick-fil-A.
And the order is?
Spicy chicken sandwich, deluxe.
Look at this guy.
Medium fries. I don't need the extra carbs with the large. Bottle of water.
Okay.
The drink. Yeah, I'm simple with that. Chick-fil-A sauce.
For the balance.
And then 8-count nuggets with Polynesian sauce.
Okay. That's,
Fried,
that's
not
the
grilled.
Merv order. Honestly, if they had like NIL when you were in college, you could be all over that. All right, next one. What teammate that you have inspires you the most?
That's a good question.
It's a great question.
My mind just goes right to Darius Hill. He's never been a prospect. People don't, with all the outfielders that we have, his name kind of gets lost in the shuffle. But the guy's going to show up and he's going to work his butt off and he's going to hit 300 and he's going to play hard. He's going to make diving plays in the outfield and doesn't care about the recognition. He plays because he loves baseball and he wants to keep playing.
That's a 2019 Midwest League champion, by the way, Darius Hill, and that's coming from a 2022 Midwest League champ. Last one, ideal game temp and time for a ball game.
Who are we playing opening day?
What, you talking Major League ball?
Big leagues.
You're playing the Cardinals opening day, baby. Come on now.
I want them cold. I want St. Louis cold. I'll go 35, overcast, little wind.
Out? Blown out to right. For you.
We can go blown out to left.
Oppo. A little Oppo taco. Merv, last thing before we say so long, I know it was a long, winding road of a season for you. Of course, that were a ton of positives, but man, you get to end your season by picking up one of these now. How much does that excite you?
That thing's beautiful. I can't wait to get it. It was so fun playing in South Bend for the first 6-7 weeks. That's what everyone plays for at the end of the year. So can't wait to get mine, and I'm happy for everyone that stuck it out the whole year and made it happen.
Well, and then hopefully for your future too, a World Series ring
Hope so.
follows shortly after from Wrigley Field. Matt Mervis, we appreciate the time. We are rooting for you from South Bend. Hope you have a great 2023.
Thanks a lot.
That's Matt Mervis. We'll talk to you guys soon.